We turn now to North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Based on our CBS News reporting, he is under serious consideration by the former president to become his running mate. It's all a sham.
2/3 of the respondents said they weren't paying close attention. Working Americans don't have time to watch TV all day, read every report. Are they better off today than they were 4 years ago? And this is an unusual thing that this is not, President Trump's not a candidate that's unknown or never run before. They had an opportunity to live their life under 4 years of him, and they had a chance to, prosper, and they had a chance to understand what the world was like, no wars.
The U.S. isn't involved in a war right now either.
But we're involved in 2 proxy wars.
We were then as well. But on your point,
magically take a transaction that gets spread out over 11 paychecks,
it's all a sham.
12 vouchers, 11 invoices, and suddenly each of those around one decision, they magically become, instead of misdemeanors, they become a felony.
What?
And if
because
they're
of the election fraud, as you just heard.
It's
all a sham.
I don't know that anybody in America, if we're asking about the voter, I don't know anybody in America can explain how a business transaction filing errors from 7 years ago become federal election law when federal election law is not a state. This is brought in a county court. Federal election is federal. And I don't know, the alchemy of transforming these misdemeanors, which had a 2-year statute of limitations. So I'm saying from a business perspective, CEOs around America, if you've had hundreds of millions of business filings in America in the last 7 years, why aren't our courts clogged with other CEOs that were dragged in front of the court?
If they were running for president and changing those business records to obscure donations to their own campaign, you know what I'm saying. This isn't just filing error.
Many of the legal experts that stood on the curb outside the courthouse for 6 weeks can't explain it. So Americans are going to come back to the issues that affect them because this trial outcome doesn't affect them. Their inflation affects them.
It does. The president of the United States, his son, says under the influence of drugs, he committed a paperwork error. That's now going to federal court because of what he did in purchasing that gun. That was a paperwork violation.
I think that is weaponized against President Trump, but if you're going to talk about equivalency in the courts, then we know that media companies have acknowledged that they worked in conjunction with the federal government to suppress information about Hunter Biden's laptop during an election year. Well, then why were his stories about it taken down off of media companies? Why was it being suppressed during that election? Why talk about the Steele dossier? I mean, we could go back. There is all kinds of things going on in our country related to election integrity. And I think whether you're an independent, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, we should all care about election integrity.
To finish this conversation on the other side of this commercial break. So let me do that and we'll finish it. So stay with me, Governor, and stay with us. 1 second. North Dakota has tremendous energy resources, and you reportedly are helping the Trump campaign craft energy policy. That's accurate? Finish this conversation on the other side of this commercial break. So let me do that and we'll finish it.
The Biden energy policies are, hard on the American consumers. They're empowering adversaries overseas, and they're really tough on our allies. But it should be much higher because we should be displacing energy coming from Venezuela,
well, let me ask you about that.
Coming from Russia. The people that are funding the wars that we're fighting are doing that on their oil sales.
Let me ask you that.
He's doing what candidates do, which is you go and listen to an industry, and this industry in particular, which is the fundamental to the entire economy. It's not just one industry. It feeds the inflation, which is affecting every American, to say, what can we do to produce cleaner energy more efficiently? President Trump talks all the time about getting oil prices down. Oil executives are not thrilled when he says, I'm going to get oil prices down. The environmental restrictions are hurting this country. They're not helping it. Innovation, people that think that you're going to solve the environmental issues with regulations, the way we solve that is with innovation. And the way we solve it with innovation is we innovate to have zero carbon liquid fuels or low carbon liquid fuels. The Biden administration is on Team China. They want to have every car be an EV, and then we got to get China controls 85% of the rare earth minerals.
Another time to talk about that global competition. But we're going to have to leave it there.
They cheat. They cheat.
It's all a sham.